No, we don't want that.
All right. Are we live now?
I think so.
Nice. We got some tunes going on. All right. All right. I can't see you though. Yo. What's going on,
What's
Zach?
up? How we doing?
Not bad, man. Not bad. Just tuned into this incredible semifinals game.
Yeah, what?
Nothing but fireworks
What
so far.
a unreal first half. And oh my god, yeah. It's the craziness continues. But welcome everybody in here for a little bit of a different live stream today. Joining in, watching the game with us. Hope you've been playing along in the app, making some of the live picks. We'd like to be doing more of these moving forward, as far as utilizing the pick 'em app incorporating some live questions, watching the game, kind of following along, and being able to fire on those questions as they're happening. So um, let us know what you guys think. Sound off in the chat. If you have ideas for questions that you want to see, fire those off too. One thing that will get started, Sal, with that first half, how did that compare to what your expectations were for the first half?
Oh man, I was expecting a slow first half like that. I feel like that's all we've been seeing. Especially from France. Like it hasn't really been the most. Hasn't been the most exciting game so far. But man, they got after it quick, and almost just as quickly Spain responded. With 2 goals. Man, that was an incredible first half.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think anyone could have. I mean, it's France. You're talking about a team that uh, I believe they had only given up 1 goal the entire tournament so far, and they hadn't scored any goals at all from open play. They had some own goals and a penalty, and right away within the first 10 minutes, they why I mean, I'm looking at the live question in the app, and I'm like, oh, anybody score in the first 10 minutes? This is an easy. These are easy points. No, I don't. Nobody's going to
Yeah.
score before halftime. Like these are easy points, and lo and behold, we get a goal right away inside those 10 minutes, and then less than 10 minutes later, Spain puts 2 more up on the board. So some pretty wild points to be had there if you were kind of firing along inside the app.
Yeah, and for those who aren't aware, if you go ahead and visit play.tenamint.com, you can go ahead and make your picks for this match right now. So before the game, we've got France versus Spain there. That one's close, but what is open is the flash questions. So what do we have here? High scoring affair. There were 3 goals in the first 25 minutes, and we're asking you, is the game going to be over 4.5 goals or under 4.5 goals? It looks like Zach's already picked the over. I'm going with the over too, and it just hit refresh there. Actually, we've actually got a new one up. It's actually next goal. So who's going to score the next goal? And we've got 25% saying Spain's got next, and 75% of our community here is saying France has next to equalize it.
I
What do you think?
I mean, I think you kind of have to go with that. I mean, I'm already surprised enough that you know. I mean, I knew Spain was going to come out aggressive. I mean, I would think what was more surprising is, and I actually, I had was talking right before the game that I said the worst case scenario for this game is if France scores within the first 10 minutes and they just sit on the lead for the next 80 minutes and they just try to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze the life out of the game. And then I even said that in the chat. I was like, I think this was my worst nightmare even before the game. And right, right immediately Spain answers 2 goals. And they weren't, they weren't fluky goals by any stretch. I mean, Spain is pushing the pace, they're
No.
playing up the wings and, utilizing their speed. And we haven't really seen France's defense be challenged like this.
Yeah, that was an incredible goal by Yamal. Am I pronouncing that correctly, man? The kid is incredible.
Yeah,
16 years old,
yeah,
right?
unbelievable.
Man, to be doing that on this stage, semifinals, like that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and looks really
Unbelievable, man.
unfazed
And
by it. I mean, it's not, the stage certainly doesn't look too big uh, for somebody that
yeah,
young.
I'm watching. Just so you guys know, we're watching the game live as we're streaming this here, talking to you guys about it. So, um, we'll we'll be commenting on whatever's going on right now. Looks like France has a couple chances kind of happening right now. But man, yeah, it's this has been action packed for sure. Um, you got about 3 minutes to get your picks in for the flash question on who's going to score the next goal. hopefully,
I
hopefully a
was
goal
gonna
doesn't get
say
scored
I'm
before
keeping my finger on like to quickly switch if I have to with the yeah.
yeah. So for those who don't know, you get the flash questions that we have here are actually worth double points. Um, but the pregame picks, I see you got Spain clicked there. Those are worth 10 points. And the flash questions are actually worth 20, but you got to act quick. If you want to be notified every time a flash question goes live, definitely be active in the Telegram community. Community.telegram.com will get you there. Sorry, community.tenament.com will get you there. And that way you're notified every single time a flash question actually goes live.
Yeah, and Sal, talk a little bit about how these live questions are going to work and like what the point structures is weighted for these live questions versus just the standard ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like I said, these live questions, the flash questions, these are worth double the points of a regular question. So you got these being worth 20 points. You can see your massive accumulation of points in the top right. You must be top of the leaderboard, man. 4,000. That's crazy. I think I'm at
Yeah,
3K
the
or something
leaderboard
along those
starts at
lines.
2, I
Uh,
think.
yeah. Um, and so yeah, you can quickly rack up points by answering these flash questions. And the points themselves, like I think this is what you're asking, but the points themselves they can be used in the future on the marketplace, and they can really get used for a few different things. You can convert them to Tenamint token. You'll be able to use them to get merch. You'll be able to use them for other benefits, as well as things like tickets and experiences in the near future as well. So the whole idea is that we're letting fans, show their knowledge, make their picks, rack up points without having to spend a single dime, and then to use those points on other fan-driven activities such as tickets, experiences, merch, the whole works. And or converting them into token. So all of that's coming up real soon. We are in open beta right now, but this is all fully functional, and the marketplace is on a very just around the corner. So start racking up those points now.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily I got in plenty early and started racking those up quickly. So, uh, we're really looking forward to, um, everything that is in store with these. I know we've been kind of in some of the conversations, and it's very exciting. So, and like you said, it's ultimately it doesn't cost anything other than your time. And most of us were already watching these games anyway. And instead of just having, um, you know, whether it's having Twitter open or just scrolling through social media, pull this up, fire away, answer a couple of quick questions and start earning points and kind of hit, you might be at the next game. So
Yeah, exactly. And for those who don't know, this is not just Euro Cup exclusive. As you see there, we've got multiple leagues. We've got the WNBA there. We got the NBA, obviously not in session right now, but Olympic basketball is around the corner, so we'll definitely be doing that. Baseball will be active. MLB will be active following the All Star break, which is this weekend. Um, what else? NHL, we had a bunch of promos going on for that while that was in session. And there'll be more on the horizon. Like, we have every major UFC event on there. We have, what else? What else are we cooking up? F1, tennis, all that stuff's going to be coming very, very soon as well. So, whatever your sport is, whatever you're a fan of, you'll definitely be able to kind of show your knowledge, show your fandom, and ultimately get rewarded for it without having to give up without having to place bets with your hard-earned money, right? Might as well earn for free, earn those rewards, and join the community. Just have people to talk about the
Yeah.
game, right? Just like we are right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. And something I'm not sure. We might have some people that haven't quite gone deep into exploring the app, but there's a little feature that you can get in here going into these missions, and every day you can click in here. You can see I've already done it, but you can come in this app every day and just keep racking up those points without, even if you aren't good at making picks, uh, like Monza. You can come in sometimes and you can still come in here every day and still get free points just by clicking in, checking in the app, opening it that way. So, if you don't already, follow us on Twitter. You can get some points there too. But just a lot of different ways you can earn points, and then a lot of ways that we'll be able to utilize those moving forward.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, and we'll be adding lots more missions and stuff like that as well. And honestly, the probably one of the best ways to rack up reward points is by using that referral feature. So you just drop that link to your friends. You'll actually be able to share your picks with your friends as well. I know the team's been working hard to get that feature up and going, and that's kind of the beauty of us, one, being a beta, but also us kind of building in public, if you will, right? We are, we're all about like taking the feedback from the community, getting those things implemented quickly. The community wants to be able to share their picks, to know who's picking what, and all of that stuff is coming soon. And one more thing we talked about was the leaderboard and racking up those points. Even if you're just getting started now, the beauty of it is that the leaderboards essentially there'll be a monthly leaderboard. So you'll be able to kind of, every single month compete with a fresh start, so that even if you're just starting now and you see Zach with 4,000 points, well, that doesn't mean anything, going in for the rest of July or going into August or whatever it is, right? And those top spots on the leaderboard are also heavily rewarded as well. So, there's an opportunity for everybody, especially as sports come in and out of a season, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I know that we've had some conversations, and just another thing that I would love to gather some feedback from the community on. Which, first of all, if you're not already, you can scan this. This will take you straight into the QR, or this QR code will take you straight into the app. Start making your picks right away. If you want to get into the Telegram and talk shop, kind of talk about your picks, this is just getting into our community. Talk about things that way. Give us your feedback there, or fire it off on Twitter, fire it off in the chat, whatever. But ultimately, we want to know what types of things you guys want to see. If that's, whether that's, hey, creating a way to track friends, if there's a way that you can kind of look up what other people are picking, or maybe set up leagues where you're setting up like little small groups of 10, 15 people, maybe look at things, you know, where it kind of becomes a little bit more of like a fantasy type, fantasy sports element to it. So you could challenge people maybe head to head, things like that. Maybe we do a couple different leaderboards where it's like, hey, seeing who's the best person at basketball, who's the best person at soccer, who's the best person at baseball. Maybe it can be tracked that way. So any type of ideas that you guys have, fire those in. Maybe there's a way that those work their way into the app. So
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Honestly, the best ideas come from the community. Now, going back to the game real quick, we got some substitutions happening. What do you kind of see here? It's interesting that Kolomuani, he just got subbed out. He's the guy who scored the first goal here,
yeah, and
right?
to be honest with you, I was surprised to see him. France did make some adjustments to their lineup. He had been playing up that right side, and they put him in the middle. which you know I thought they should have used Olivier Giroud, maybe kind of mix things up. I thought they'd be better off trying to attack Spain that way, but clearly I was wrong. Here comes Camavinga, who he's started nearly every game for them as well, replaced by Rabiot, which another pretty surprising replacement to me, but seemed to work out pretty well for the French.
Yeah, and Griezmann
Griezmann
was
was
taken
out.
out on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
starting.
I did think that France
He didn't.
should mix it up a little bit with their lineup. I didn't think that Deschamps was going to. I thought he was just like, "Hey, we're going to roll out what we got. Like these are my guys." So I was surprised to see him make some changes. Um, I think some of the changes he made weren't the ones I was expecting, but it worked out at the beginning. Oh, another key adjustment I think has been Mbappe not wearing the mask out there.
I was just thinking that, man. We've been
Yeah,
talking about it on the show from day one, right? We're like, hey, man, he's not in. The mask isn't that intimidating. It's not the LeBron James type. You put the mask on and now you look like Batman. He kind of looked a bit goofy. Now, now he's got the mask off, and they got out to a little bit of a hot start. Obviously, still trailing right now, but maybe that's the adjustment they needed.
yeah, and I know he was saying that it had been affecting his vision, his peripherals. He couldn't really see, and maybe that had contributed to um, their lack of scoring a little bit. I know that with him kind of being their primary offensive weapon up the wing, I guess I can see that. It sounded a little bit like an excuse, but hey, I mean, right, like I will say, I know they're trailing right now, but right from the beginning, I mean, he did seem to. Uh, he had a little bit more spunk in his game right away, and I was like, "Oh, wait, something's different." Like, oh, he doesn't have the mask on anymore. So, as we were saying, perhaps one of the only players that we can remember in any sport that didn't get a bump from the mask. He was actually a mask downgrade guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rare mass downgrade. Um,
And,
and can you speak to the
oh
pinstripes
man,
and
yeah,
the
that's
significance?
I don't know. I mean, this is kind of put that to the test, but I didn't know that France could be beaten in pinstripes. Anytime that they're rocking the pin, it's like they say with the Yankees, people can't, or whatever movie that's from. Everybody loses to the Yankees because they're looking at the pinstripes, and these pinstripes here are clean, and I France is a formidable outfit when they're rocking the pinstripes, to say the least. Oh,
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. Nothing like pinstripes. All right, cool. So I think we're gonna get another flash question coming up soon. So guys, if you're not on the app right now, obviously get there. It'll be up momentarily. What we're gonna do is, let's say Spain to hold the lead and seal the game. What do you think?
yeah. I mean, we're looking at 25 minutes left plus stoppage. This actually has been a pretty clean game without a lot of stoppages. So uh, I don't know that they'll be able to rely too much on any extra time but as we've seen before with a unmasked Mbappe, is that he can kind of make an instant offense happen in a flash. I know even with at PSG, there's been times in the Champions League where they look dead to rights, and he kind of made something happen out of thin air, and all of a sudden, they'll go from down one to up one, and it's like, what just happened? Uh,
Yeah,
but I know one thing that's
yeah.
not
It's
looking
real.
good
It's
right now is that over 4.5. So um, I'm staring down the gun barrel right now of going 0 for 3 on the live questions.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm actually killing it. I think I had the first 10 minutes. You know, I had that one at least. I probably meant to have Spain to equalize in the next 15 too. So I'm not sure if I actually got a chance to get that one in myself, but um, I'm doing pretty well so far. I think the next question is officially up. Um,
Yeah, let's
can you
go.
pull that up? Let's just confirm. All right, guys. So you might have to hit refresh as that just came in.
Yeah, and just go up here, reload. Here we go. Done deal.
Oh, oof. All right. So you guys got a few extra minutes here. We're being real generous with the time. Done deal. Can Spain hold the lead and seal the game? Um, what are
I
you
was gonna
thinking? Is
say
that a
you get the
yes?
added benefit right now of seeing what I pick and going against it to get the free points. So
No, you've been pretty spot on. Like I guess until today with your
yeah,
picks,
and
right?
although on the last show I was thinking some of the when we went through and made our picks on all of the quarterfinal matchups, I think I went 1-3 on out of those 4 games as well. So it's been a little bit of a dry spell here in the Euros.
Ah, okay. I thought you had Spain moving on, right? But you didn't have France. Is that what it was?
I thought Netherlands were the one team that I got correct.
Yeah, yeah. No, you definitely had Spain, man. I remember that.
Okay, well, uh,
So
yeah,
you're 2 for 4 then, I think.
we'll,
Maybe I'm wrong. Who
we
knows,
won't
man?
pull up
All
the
right.
ledger.
Well,
We
I'm
won't
gonna
pull
make
up the
my pick.
ledger.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my pick. Hold on. Give me a sec here. I'm a contrarian, man. I just love the underdog. Though, although it's not looking good for France, I'm gonna make a pick for some, just to be just to take the dog here. I'm gonna make a pick for France to kind of make a comeback. Maskless Mbappe gets clutch here and does something legendary. Though, man, I have to say, the live win probability. I don't know where Google gets it from, but I've got that pulled up, and they're saying a 7% chance of France, um, you know, on the live win probability. So not looking good. Um, really interesting. Like Spain's definitely dominate possession time as well. They've got 57% to 43%. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, and one thing with France is obviously they came in as the favorites in the tournament, and you look at the roster, and rightfully so. They have top talent at every position. The only thing that I feel like everyone forgets every international tournament with France, including myself, is that they play these international tournaments so like this is the same style they play every time. They have these electric guys like Mbappe and Dembele and Kolomuani, and they have all these great offensive players, but they just I compare it to they play like a boa constrictor where they just keep squeezing and squeezing and they like suck the life out of the game, and they just kind of slowly grind you down. And I mean that's why they got here without scoring hardly any goals. Is they just they don't give up goals, and they say we'll take our chances either in penalties, or we'll take our chances to kind of have one of our guys on the wing make some magic happen. But I don't like that they aren't playing to score. They're playing to not concede as opposed to score. And that's one thing I really like about this Spain team is they have this season been the complete opposite of that, where they've said, we are going to push, we're going to use our youth, we're going to use our speed, and we are going to push the ball and try to attack. And that's what made that Spain-Germany game so amazing, is both of those teams have that mentality.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Well, one thing's for sure, France can't play like that right now, man. They've got to get
Yeah,
aggressive.
no, I know. But and when you play that way, it kind of makes it where you all of a sudden you're having to flip the switch and you're having to play aggressively as a style that you haven't been playing the entire tournament. So it kind of it makes it even more difficult. Whereas, I feel like if you come in, you play aggressive, you play tough, offensive, attack minded, you never have to turn that off. You can kind of always maintain that style, and not have to kind of go into something, that you're not, or going into some type of play style that is against the way that you've been playing all the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like in the last 10 minutes here, though, this whole game's been on the France kind of being the aggressor here, but it looks like it's going Spain's way as of right now. Um, but yeah, you can tell they're trying to step up that aggression. But yeah, it's never easy to just flip the switch on your play style and what got you here, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're trying to change your identity on the fly.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't had the chance to make your pick on that latest flash question, you got about 3 minutes left um, on Spain to hold the lead. So get your picks in, get active. If it's your first picks, well, no better time than now to kind of get started. Lots of other well, we've got the other game tomorrow as well, and then we'll be doing this again on for the finals too, right? Which should be probably Sunday if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
mistaken, right?
absolutely. And not to go too much on a side tangent here, but your beloved Canada are taking the field tonight against Argentina in a rematch of the opening, which I believe was the opening match of the entire tournament for Copa America.
Yep, yep, yep. Definitely was, and a lot of people will look at the score of that match and be like, "Well, Canada had no shot," and maybe we do have no shot. But what I will say is that first half in the first game was kind of evenly matched a bit. Like Canada had a ton of good opportunities. I mean, we didn't capitalize, but it wasn't as lopsided as you would expect. Obviously, Canada going against Argentina, one of the best teams in the world against the best player in the world, right? In Messi, and I know Canada has a work cut out for them tonight, but I think we may make it a game, or at least to start. I'm picking Canada everywhere, and we should have that on the app by this evening as well. So yeah, I saw Drake put 300K on Canada to win.
Yeah, I think at this point he's
And
just
that
addicted to losing, like whether it's losing money, he just can't stop taking L's that it's
yeah, man, the Drake curse is back. You gotta, maybe it's back. Hopefully it's not, but yeah, he kind of beat the Drake curse for a bit, but I'm not too sure if that's the case anymore. We'll see. We'll find out tonight.
yeah, for
And those are like 9-1 odds, which is insane. Obviously, like Canada to beat Argentina. The world thinks we have no chance, and maybe we don't, but I believe anyways.
Hey, I mean, they've kind of been playing where they haven't been giving up a lot of goals. They haven't been scoring a lot of goals, but they haven't been giving up a lot either. They do have, some guys, and I really like Alfonso Davies, which, you know, I think he's better than any player on the U.S. team. Uh, with as far as I'm concerned, I mean that might be a hot take, but I feel like he's better than Pulisic, and he's better. I mean, I don't know that the U.S. has any players like that.
Yeah, it's been entertaining to watch all the U.S. takes on how salty they are that Canada, the U.S. media, how salty they are that Canada's made it this far and that U.S. is out. There've been some hilarious takes. They're like
Yeah, and
Canada,
they
like
never
really.
stop reminding everybody that Jesse Marsh is American. In case you hadn't heard, it it's a requirement that we have to be notified of that any time that Canada's mentioned.
Right, of course, of course. We'll remember that when we're talking about Embiid in Olympic
Yeah.
basketball. Not that he's Canadian, but he's definitely not
All
American.
right, let's see. Oh man, the guy in the full chicken suit. This is always the fun part of the game when they start showing like the sad fans of the losing team and they're wearing, you know, ridiculous outfits, uh, full face paint, or I just saw somebody wearing the full chicken costume from like the rooster on the jersey. So um, it's always good. It's like you think about that walk of shame headed back home when you have like full face or full body paint and your team just lost. And it's like, man, now you got to go. And uh, it's some soggy sorrows in the shower trying to clean that off.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. They didn't show that on the Canadian stream here, man, but I'd love to see that. Got about 10 minutes in regular time kind of remaining here. Let's see. Let's see what they do with it. Man, Spain's getting downfield in a hurry. They just can't make anything of it once they get close.
Oh, here we go. Olivier
Not
Giroud,
Spain, I mean France.
the big man. So now what they're going to just try and do is they're just going to try and fire balls into the box and hope that he can try and head one in.
Yeah, some of this passing by France hasn't looked too good though. They're just consistently
Right,
off, not on
right, and
target at all.
it's going back to what I said when you play, however many, what has it been, five straight matches that they've played this defensive style and they've played, ball control, playing not to lose, but they haven't trailed. So this is unfamiliar territory to be in the biggest game of the season. So
Yeah, yeah. Quick question: pass accuracy 84%. Is that a low percentage normally?
I don't. I mean, don't know that that's low. I think that's pretty good. It's more about for me that is more. I like looking at the chart, like the pass chart, because if there's a lot of those passes that are going backwards, or you're just kind of like kicking it around and like these possession triangles, and you're not really advancing the ball, then I feel like it, those passing accuracy stats can be kind of misleading sometimes because it's like, okay, like, yeah, you completed a bunch of passes, but they weren't going anywhere. You weren't moving the ball. You weren't attacking. So I think it's kind of like to me, it's more about, where are those passes going and what are those passing? I know there's some of the advanced stats accounts that'll show like the pass charts of the whole game, and I really like looking at those because those end up telling the story of what shape did the offense take over the course of the game.
Right, right. Well, one thing's for sure, they're definitely they're down 120 passes in comparison to Spain. and the possession time is like significantly in favor of Spain as well. So that'll tell you a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And, I know that after those first couple games of the group stage, I think it may have been either our first or second episode. I remember I was like, well, the best two teams that I think we've seen at this tournament have been Spain and Germany. And, it's good to see that is kind of playing out. I mean, those two teams, they're not much could be separated. You could even potentially made the argument that Germany was there wasn't much to separate Spain from Germany, but you could make the case that Germany played better overall, and at the end, Spain just kind of nipped them at the end there, or just kind of did enough to hold on. Uh, One thing that I find, you know, Spain kind of had a little bit of an advantage unintentionally is when Pedri was injured, who I think he's a better overall player, and he's younger, but he's a better player than Danny Olmo, who is replacing him now. But Danny Olmo is still like an elite midfielder, and he's bigger, a little bit more physical, um, and he's in there because Pedri got injured, and we've kind of seen Spain's offense unlock a new gear with him there, and it wasn't part of the plan, but it was one of those deals where the injury kind of unlocked them a little bit more. And I think Danny Olmo was certainly better suited to this matchup with uh, France's big physical midfielders. Yeah, and look, there's Danny Olmo right there. I mean, he's the one that scored the goal, so he's only in there because Pedri was injured, and I think ultimately that paid off for them.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like someone got hurt here. Who is that?
Yeah, and
Laporte.
Spain also, they had, uh, in addition to that injury, they had two guys that were suspended uh, for accumulation of yellow cards, which is one of my least favorite rules. I think it's pretty silly that you're here. We are. There's what are there in their sixth game, and you can't get after three yellows. I think you have to get suspended for a game, which I mean that's crazy. But especially with, I know they had the new rule this year where only the captain is allowed to address the official. Other people aren't allowed to argue to the official, which, if we're being honest, I'd be okay if that got implemented in the NBA. But um, anyway, it's some of these refs, you get a trigger happy ref that somebody just naturally you're going to argue or dispute a call, and someone else who isn't the captain, he could have a quick card and be like, "Oh, okay, well, I heard you say something. You should have taken it to your captain and have him address me." I don't like that because then you can
Yeah,
impact later games and having guys miss and be suspended.
yeah. And Bobby had a serious
Yeah,
chance there, man. I know he won back. 5 minutes to go. I guess there'd be some injury time here, though.
yeah, there will be now for sure. Man, yeah, seeing the replay on
Looking
that
forward to
that
tomorrow's game, huh?
Mbappe, I don't know if he just kind of got excited and just blasted it over the crossbar.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it looked like. Looking forward to tomorrow's game. Who do you have there? Netherlands?
I I think so. Yeah. I think I've been pretty vocal about my feelings towards England, and their style of play, and it's almost like a even worse version of this French team where they just are really content to not advance the ball. Um, as I said before, they have three of the top. They have three players on their team in their starting 11 that were the player of the year in their league, uh, and yet still can't manage to find shots on the net. Not even really creating many chances. They are the epitome of the type of team that likes to score first and just sit on it. And I could not imagine being an England fan how frustrating that would be, because constantly you see them get possession and they just kick it backwards immediately. And it's like, what are we doing? Push the ball forward up the field. Trust your guys. That's the type of tactics you see for teams that I feel like are inferior, not teams that have the upper edge on talent.
Yeah, yeah. With that type of talent, you'd imagine you're trying to make the most of it and trying to be aggressive. But I'm wondering if watching this France game, those guys, if they're thinking like, yeah, maybe we got to be a little bit more aggressive and not be content with the 1-0 lead. We saw how that worked out for France right now, right?
Yeah, and I was even reading something earlier that for as much criticism as Southgate gets for England, at the end of the day, in the last Euro, they made it all the way to the finals. They lost on penalties to Italy. In the last World Cup, think they lost to France in the quarterfinals. And then in the Euros before that, I think they lost to Portugal, who ended up winning it all. So um, they've lost to the champion, and those are three straight international tournaments that ultimately the team that put them out won the whole thing, and they advanced pretty deep, albeit not lifting any trophies, but they are. It's not like they're getting put out on the group stage either. It's not like these uh, horribly disappointing results that it might not be pretty, but they are advancing. They're just ultimately not lifting the trophy.
Yeah, 100%. Man, couple minutes left here, man. We'll see how much extra time they put on, but not looking good for
What
France.
did you think about that handball by Cucurella in the last match for Spain?
Man, all I know is
Oh
music
yeah, yeah, no,
plays.
for sure. Whether you saw it live or not, you ended up seeing it 100 times because it was all over the place.
Yeah, what would you think though? Like, yeah, what was the ruling? Is like it was like a natural arm position or whatever, unintentional. Like,
I think
you
the
do.
issue is just like with everything else that ultimately I think people just want consistency, and there's plenty of instances where that exact same play gets. We've seen that time and time again be called as a handball, and it's kind of like we're putting the ref in this position where they're the ones that are supposed to kind of determine whether it's incidental or not. And I don't know. I don't like some of those because I also feel, you'll see players when they have their hands up and maybe a player will just try and kick it at their hands to kind of bait them into a handball, but I don't know. It's the whole spirit, it's the endless debate of the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law.
Right, right. I hear you though, man. Just consistency on the call is actually what's important. It doesn't matter what direction they go in. Just
Right.
keep it consistent, right? Especially with video replay, and like you've got that at your disposal. You can be consistent here. It's weird to see Spain take a shot at the goal like that. You'd think they just want to pass it around, take some time off that clock at this stage of the game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is the time when you want to do this.
Yeah.
The old four corners offense.
Right.
Yeah, you see that he went up. He's talking to the ref. He immediately points him away. Like, no, don't. You're not allowed to say a single word to me. I, I,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Oh, there goes
and Nico
Yamal.
Williams, two really, really good young players. Could
16
potentially
years
be
old,
teammates
man. How?
next year. Yamal's at Barcelona, and I know Barcelona is trying to acquire Nico Williams. They'd kind of been in discussions, and I know that they were waiting for until after the Euros to, really push or finalize anything. But I know that they were pushing to acquire him. Which, what an electric duo
Yeah,
that would be, to pair up at Barcelona too.
of course. Man, that'd be crazy. And how crazy it is, like, there's those pictures with Messi with Yamal
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
baby, right?
I know.
What's the story behind that?
It's mostly just, I mean, Yamal was he's kind of been, I guess, in and around. He's from Barcelona. He's from that area, or I think he grew up in like a suburb of Barcelona. So, it's no different than hanging around training camp, going to game, trying to meet a player. You see them maybe out in the wild, and you get a picture with them at a football camp or uh, a youth camp, something like that. So. Kind of cool when you end up seeing it kind of play out, and then it's, when the younger guy makes it and they're kind of side by side, playing at the same level. It reminded me of LeBron with like the picture of his son with him on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, ref is not happy with the Spain bench
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, he's giving him the business. They need the get back coach.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's history, man. There you go. Spain, man. Man, what a match. Like, just coming out, going down 1-0 early and just firing right back to back,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
holding off to
and that shot from Yamal was from way outside too, which,
yeah, that was special for sure. Well, it's gonna be great to see these guys in the finals, and depending on who they're facing between England and Netherlands, be a good match regardless. Hopefully Netherlands, but we'll see, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I it's another one that I don't think we can get that there's necessarily a bad matchup. The Netherlands might be a little bit more fun, but as we saw, if we get Spain and England, Spain isn't going to be content to just kind of let England back up into their shell. They're going to take the game to them, just like they did here for France. I mean, there's a pretty good blueprint as to, uh, even after France scored first, um, that quick answer and then the quick second right away kind of really shifted the momentum, and they were just kind of able to hold on.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we ask those flash questions, right? Like, a team goes up 1-0 and, is this team going to fire back in X amount of minutes? Like, you almost have to fire back quick to get that momentum on your
Yeah.
side, right? Nip it in the bud. Shit. Well, damn, that was an incredible game, man. We'll definitely be doing something like this for the finals. We'll have some flash questions going on for tomorrow's game as well. That's same time, England versus the Netherlands, and yeah, I mean we'll definitely be on here as well. Tenement TV, just talking sports, talking everything else, very very soon as well. So, man, always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
thanks for joining, everyone. Here one more time. Get in there if you're not already in the bot. Get in there, make your picks for tomorrow, make your picks for tonight, for Copa, and get in here, get into the Telegram community. Let us know what you want to see. If you have ideas for flash questions or really anything at all. If you just want to chat and shoot the shit about the games a little bit, like get in there and do that too. So
Yep, 100%. Looking forward to seeing what the community has to say about this
yep,
epic win, man.
we'll see what
We'll,
happens
we'll
with Canada tonight, um, if they can make it happen. Pull off the slay Goliath in Argentina, and maybe we'll have a whole new storyline to lead off tomorrow with.
Yeah, maybe. I hope so. I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but still, honestly, like I'll be happy if we just make it a game, man, make it respectable, and who knows, anything
Yeah,
could happen, right?
absolutely. All
Yeah.
right, Sal.
All right.
We will.
Yep. Pleasure.
Yeah, man. We'll see you
Yep.
tomorrow, and
Appreciate
good luck to the Canadians tonight. All right.
it.